is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking the new Onigashima lore into the Hawkins forest. And that was the team, those were the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so this run was actually pretty smooth, so I'm actually going to start this particular run at the Okiku stage. Now, this particular stage of the forest, in my opinion, is got to be the most annoying stage. This particular stage was literally just designed to cuck your supports. On turn 1, you get despaired, and then she starts binding you. It's just so annoying, because you can't use stuff like Corazon, you can't use stuff like Rayleigh. It makes stuff very, very tricky. Now, for this particular team to function the way it does, you do need to have the support of Valentine's Nami on your Luffy Sanji. That is quite important. This particular forest was literally built for Luffy Sanji, so any way you can, like, slide them onto a team, it is going to work very, very nicely. If you don't have Luffy Sanji for, like, whatever reason, they've been out for, like, yonks now, and you do have V2 Shirashari, you can easily slide V2 Shirashari in here instead, and that way you don't have to worry about the Nami support. But the special of Luffy and Zoro on the final stage, it just provides you with a little bit more, namely an orb boost. But my boy KroobyG did run, shout out to Kroobs as well, my boy KroobyG did run this, but like very similar team. He did use super type lore as his super type Zoro as his captain. He had Sanji and Pudding instead of Vivi Rebecca, and then he was using V2 Shirashari as well. If you guys don't have V2 Vivi Rebecca sheet, they are completely replaceable with Sanji and Pudding as well for this particular team as well. I will leave a link to KroobyG's video. Hopefully he does upload it. I did tell the boy to actually upload it because it was a really, really cool team, and super type Zoro getting some love now that super type lore. Wow, getting my words mixed up. Words are hard. Now that super type lore is actually a thing in the game, and DEX actually has some like prominent leaders. This particular team, however, like just cruises through the Hawkins forest. It doesn't have any issues whatsoever. It has a lot of damage. The biggest issue I found when I was running this was actually the Kinemon and Conjurer stage, purely because I had too much damage and I was just like killing them, which was just so annoying. But once we hit the Hold'em stage, this is where the like forest actually starts to pick up. We get 4 turns of burn. He puts up 4 turns of Threshold as well. But on the Riser stage, we actually get Special Blind. Now that's why having V2 Shirashari or Luffy Sanji is really, really good. Other subs like Corazon or Bobbins work really, really well as well. Namely because they can actually remove Special Blind with their sailors. But with the switchability of Luffy and Zoro, as well as the switchability of V2 Shirashari, we can actually get around the Special Blind purely just by switching. On the second turn, we can remove all that Special Blind, and that's where we're actually going to take out Hold'em. Once again, we are using Free-to-Play Bonnie. Free-to-Play Bonnie is the god of this particular forest, and that's why, like, when I did my Onigashima Luffy showcase on Japan, she made her way onto that team, and because she's DEX, she finds her way onto this particular team with lore as well. Another great thing about using lore as your captain or a friend captain, his super typing, as long as you have one of the worst generation, so like Zoro, Luffy, Bonnie is going to help trigger it as well. You can actually get the super typing. The beautiful thing about getting the super typing is you can lock all of those juicy recovery orbs, and now we're just going to abuse the crap out of that orb lock mechanic, or the orb lock we call it. That orb lock mechanic that Conjurer and Kinemon give us, and we're just going to hang on to those recovery orbs for the entire fight and basically just cheese our way through the forest with infinite healing, which is really, really good. On this particular stage, however, we do actually get 3 turns of paralysis on our captains, so that's why we do want to stall a turn here. But you could run the Oro Jackson if you really want to. You just need to be really careful with your perfects, however, if you do that. And then that way you can actually remove 2 turns of the paralysis here, and then you don't have to stall that 1 turn. You could probably just take it out on the 1. But I would ideally use the Liberal Hind. It is a little bit nicer in terms of safety, as well as giving cooldowns for Shanks' crew as well with its amazing special ability. On the second turn, we are going to switch with Shanks' crew to get an attack boost. We can get a chain lock with Vivi and Rebecca, and that way we can actually take out Conjurer and Kinemon easy peasy. No issues. With a 5x captain and like very good switch abilities, it's actually a cakewalk. Once we hit the Kyoshiro stage, he puts up 3 turns of defense up, and he gives us Orb Seal as well as Special Blind again. So that's why having a way of getting around Special Blind is actually essential for this particular team. And again, shout out to my boy KroobyG. If you're using like Zoro as your captain, you don't have to worry about any of this Special Blind. So it was very, very nice. You could also use Shanks' crew as your captain as well if you are missing Super Type Zoro and you do want to try this team. You could easily run like Shanks' crew as your captain as well. That shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. On turn 3, however, Kyoshiro is going to put up damage reduction. So this is where we're going to remove all of that, basically by using the switch ability of, the special ability of Vivi Rebecca. They can completely remove damage reduction and defense up, which is really, really strong. We can get some chain locking, we can get some attack boosting with our switch abilities, and literally just with our switch abilities and that color affinity on Shanks' crew, like, we can just destroy Kyoshiro here. I was looking at this, and I was actually a little bit worried about the damage until I actually hit with my Shanks' crew. So as you can see here, I'm hitting perfects, but like, you don't need to hit perfects. You can literally just hit greats, because Shanks' crew just hits so damn hard that you can easily take out Kyoshiro literally with a grade. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Jack, and this is where things get fun. Jack's going to give us 5 turns of despair, which will go down to 2, respective to your sockets, and he reduces your chain coefficient reduction for 2 turns. He also gives us that really annoying debuff where he makes Dex and Strength orbs unfavorable for the rest of the run. I feel like that was like their way of trying to cuck Vivi Rebecca, but with this particular forest being built up around Rainbow, Recovery, or Wano orbs, you can easily just cheese that and you don't have to worry about it with the Recovery orb trick. We're going to switch with Luffy Zoro to remove the despair, which works really, really nicely. And then we're basically just going to hold on to a bunch of Dex characters. With all of our Dex characters available to us, like, Jack is just going to get absolutely spanked. Now, I actually switched with Shanks' crew before I used the Law special. So this is going to be a very, very good representation of how much damage output this particular team has. Because we only have a 1.5 times attack boost, when hypothetically, we should have a 2.75 times attack boost. And as you can see, like that 1.5 extra damage that Law can provide is just absolutely monstrous. Like, Jack just gets absolutely belted here. If you're using Super Type Zoro as your captain, you can run his Super Typing here for the color affinity, which is great. Once again, big shout out to KroobyG with that team. I was a big fan of that team, KroobyG. If you're watching this video, I'm a huge fan of that team, man. Please upload it. Once we hit the next stage against Zoro, Juro, Soba Mask, and Wano Kuni Law, they're going to bind our top and bottom right-hand side as well as our middle left. So that's why having Luffy Zoro in the bottom left or the middle right is very, very clutch. So that way their switch ability can remove the bind. We can then use our switch abilities to gain an attack boost with Shanks' crew, as well as get a chain lock with their amazing special ability. And with that, we should be able to take out this stage easy peasy. If you really want to, you could use the special of Law, as you can pretty much stall infinitely on the Jack stage. But as you can see here, like, literally just with the switch ability of Shanks' crew, like, you will have enough damage to just absolutely decimate both Law and Zoro. Ideally, you just need to take out Law on the first turn. You don't have to take out Zoro if you don't want to, but I would try and recommend doing so, as taking out Soba Mask on the next turn is just very, very easy. And as you can see, even with me, like, forgetting to use my switch abilities, Soba Mask just absolutely melts with that 3.5 times chain lock. It's absolutely wild. Once we hit the next stage, we come against Jack, and this is our stalling stage. If you guys need your specials back, if you guys need some healing, you can basically just hang around on Jack forever. He puts up 3 turns of damage reduction, 3 turns of threshold, and he gives us 3 turns of attack down. So we will need to stall that out anyway, and because we have a full board of recovery orbs, even though Jack blows away our friend captain every 2 turns, he does stuff like double attacking after that. It's really not that big of a deal because, like, we have infinite recovery orbs, right? We can just, like, literally just keep healing for days. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit to the point, like I normally do, to the point where we don't need to stall on Jack anymore. And I'll see you guys there. Alright, so the damage reduction and the threshold's gone, as well as the attack down. I have stalled a little bit, but ideally, like, you just kind of want to get your Law special down to, like, a 2-turn cooldown or, like, a 4-turn cooldown. It really doesn't matter too much, to be honest. I was sort of extra stalling for this particular stage, as I was trying to get Shanks' crew special back, but then I realized I don't actually need Shanks' crew special because I have Luffy Zoro for their chain lock. So the only thing I'm going to recommend before you leave the Jack stage is to make sure that you are at max HP, because once you hit this stage against Kaido, he not only gives us 5 turns of burn, which is like a big burn, he actually gives us 99 turns of reduced recovery, which means all of our recovery orbs now are no longer as viable as they once were. They're still great because they're like matching orbs, but we're just not going to be getting that amazing healing that we are used to. We are going to use a Law special here, so that's why you do want to have one of your Law specials ready to go. But like I said, as long as you like move on to this Kaido stage with like a 4-turn cooldown on one of your Laws, as well as the special ready to go on the other one, or a 2-turn cooldown for the other one, you will be hunky-dory. Like, the amount of damage we can output on Kaido with the 1.5 times damage, as well as that massive attack boost Law can provide, is just super, super nice. However, when we kill Kaido, he actually has a revive mechanic, and when he comes back, he gives us 3 turns of special bind, as well as coming back with like just under 50% HP. Be very careful with Kaido. You really don't want to let him take a knee, but with the switch abilities of Vivi Rebecca and the switch ability of Shanks' crew, like, we get an attack buff, we get a chain lock. Like, it's not hard to take him out without any special abilities. When we hit the final stage against Hawkins, however, he is going to turn into the opposite color to our captain. So because we are a Dex captain, he's going to turn to a strength unit. He puts up 2 turns of defense up, gives us 3 turns of despair respective to your sockets, and we still have that special bind. So we're going to remove that with the switch ability of Luffy and Zoro. We can get that amazing attack boost as well as a chain lock with their special. And because of the Nami support, we can remove the despair as well, which is really, really nice. We can use the Vivi Rebecca special for some color affinity. That doesn't matter too much. We do get it on our Shanks' crew, which is nice. But it's not that big of a deal to get the color affinity, as we do have some Dex units here as well. But their special is actually going to remove the defense up. With that, we are going to be in good stead here. We can easily take out our boy Hawkins. No issues whatsoever. See you later, Bob's your uncle. Goodbye, Mr. Basil Hawkins. So there you guys go. That was the Straw Forest with double Onigashima Law. Just absolutely claps it. No issues whatsoever. Very smooth run and very easy run. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go in there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel too. Hit that big red subscribe button. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!